Hi, today I'm going to talk about the economy and what you should do to the economy, not what they're doing to the economy. Well, dears, now, first off, you do not cut jobs, you do not lower pay, you keep pay up because otherwise reducing pay is going to lower the amount of tax you take in to the government coffers. Indeed, there you go, you know. Secondly, to do with the government contracts. Instead of overtaxing a company or demanding tax if they can't pay, if the government needs a contract carried out, say like building, refurbishment, so on and so forth, they should take work or services in lieu of the tax to cover the amount that the company owes, not to pound the tax from a company. Said that wrong way, but like, you know what I mean. But like, you should not hound a company for the tax. You should actually take the services or goods in lieu that you would need for your office in government. Indeed, there we go. Another option is hand all the services and all the contracts locally over to local businesses, such as like builder suppliers, construction supplies, and so on and so forth. Set up local business councils, and the tax from those businesses and services needed for local roads, reconstruction, repairing, whatever, goes from the locality into the locality, repairing stuff, building the roads, doing their section of the roads until the next town, or they can share. But you have local business councils which take care of the money to be paid for those repairs, construction, whatever, so on and so forth. It's localized money going to local needs, right? So there you go. So you, instead of like you take it away from the government and you actually put it locally, and the tax money from the local businesses goes straight to where it's needed, rather than actually going into the government coffers, staying there and not being used for what it should be used for. Same as hospitals. Local hospitals should be funded by the locality, the tax from the locality, the town, the whatever city nearest those places, right? If not, then you will hold local fundraisers, local fairs, whatever, bring tourists in, bring people in, raise money, la la la, for the said hospitals or whatever, right? Instead of closing the hospitals down, you make the local businesses and the local people responsible for that hospital locally. They raise the funds, they raise the money, whatever. So it's another thing, okay? And that's that part of it. Okay, so now, as for government and the government offices, you should not penalise the national workers or the government workers for the government's fault, right? Past governments, whatever, you know. You should always keep their wages up, increase their tax by 0.5%, do not put a 6% levy on their wages, because it is stupid, because they're the people who kind of run the country. And unless they voluntarily find a new job, go somewhere else, or whatever, they're being taxed and penalised for the government's fault. Okay, they may have worked for the government, but then again, they could have been telling the ministers, they could have been telling people within that office, don't do that, we shouldn't have done that, la 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 la. So if the majority were telling the minority within those offices not to do certain stuff, and the minority in those offices who were spending all the money didn't listen, well, why penalise the lower paid workers in those offices for the government's mistakes? Same with the lower paid, you don't cut their wages, you don't overtax them, you kind of grade the tax in a gradient, right? Thereby you have, say, like an 8.5% tax, a 12.5% tax, 15% tax, 17.5% tax, and whatever, going up in grades, not actually, oh, we do 20% for you and 40% for you and 60% for you and then 80% for anything above that, like after the given amount. So like, now it's kind of a long one, but I can actually put these long ones now on YouTube. So there we go, dear. So there's my little kind of statement for helping out with the government, helping out with the country, so on and so forth.